3 multi-boss raids with secret, heroic-only end bosses for Sinestra. And yeah, of course you're falling asleep. Let's find out why McConnell was falling asleep. I'm gonna pull up your fucking logs from back then right now. Oh, I can't do it.
Dude.
Yeah, of course you don't. Well, I did, and I was a fucking god back then because it meant something. It meant something to be good back in Cataclysm. Over these years, we've had some patches in WoW. Some good, some bad. Some decent, some okay. But now, the definitive list of the champion of Azeroth, me, by the way, will be made. I would say the original Burning Crusade patch, the first patch that Burning Crusade ever came out, Burning Crusade was the greatest expansion that Blizzard has ever made, and Wrath of the Lich King and all the other ones are not even remotely close. Whenever Burning Crusade came out, it was like a new world. It reinvigorated the game. It brought everybody together, and it had some of the best raids of all time. And it's so good that people are coming back to play it even now. So we're going to put Burning Crusade as a motherfucking S. This is a straight up motherfucking S. This is the best one that you can possibly imagine, and that's all there is to it, okay? It's the best one. Black Temple. Black Temple. I would say that Black Temple was actually not that good of a patch. I do not think Black Temple is a good patch. Here's why I don't think so. Because the tier 6 content was not that good. Oh yeah, I loved Mount Hydro. My favorite part about it was the trash. Well, I would hope so, because that was the whole fucking thing. The raid was trash. Like, literally and metaphorically, okay? It was a trash-ass raid. It was a trash-ass raid. And I remember I was so excited for Mount Hydro, because it was just the way, it was like, oh, it's the Warcraft 3 mission. Oh, and I love Warcraft 3. And so I wanted to play it. I played it. I AFK'd Hydro the first time I did it. The first time I did it. We got to wave like 4, and I'm like, ah, fuck it. They'll do it without me. They'll do it without me. I said, fuck that shit, dude. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to see it. So I'm going to put Black Temple. I'm going to put that as it's a B. It's maybe a C. It's a C or a B. But like Illidan was a cool fight. Some other stuff was cool. And people are going to mauled out if I put it any lower. So we're going to put Black Temple as a B. Okay, guys? Black Temple, B patch. Voice chat. Now, whenever they added voice chat to Burning Crusade, I remember this day because it lasted for 1 day. People watched the voice chat and they tried to use it for about 6 minutes. And nobody could get it to work. It was complete garbage. It was really annoying. This patch is, I think, one of the worst patches that Blizzard has ever made. This is beyond F.
For what?
The voice chat patch in Burning Crusade.
Oh yeah, nobody used that shit.
Nobody used it. It was absolute dog shit. You know it, I know it, everybody knows it. Alright, the next one is the Zul'Aman. Now, what came out with the Zul'Aman patch? Was it just ZA? Because I actually think ZA was one of the best patches, like, one of the best raids ever. Like, I loved ZA. Like, ZA was a badass patch. Now, the thing is, like, I don't know if it's really gonna it's gonna be as good as the other ones in the future, though. But, like, I think ZA is really, really a big patch. It's a massive fucking patch. The Guild Bank? Wait, no, the Guild Bank came out in ZA? 2.3 was the Guild Bank. Okay, so if it was the Guild Bank that enabled me to have a lot of fun, I had a lot of fun with the Guild Bank patch. It was probably, honestly, I probably had more fun with the Guild Bank than I did with the raid. So we're gonna put ZA as an A. This is an A patch, 100% an A patch. Fury of the Sunwell. Fury of the Sunwell. Patch 2.4. It brought in not only Sunwell, but also the Isle of Quel'Danas. One of the best areas in the game at that time, at least. Not necessarily. I mean, nowadays it doesn't really stand up quite as well, but back then it was fucking amazing. Everybody was happy to see it. Sunwell was incredibly fucking hard. They added in, let's see. Sunwell was really good for, I like Sunwell. All right. So Sunwell had actual PvP items that you were able to get off of Twin Eridar. It had the legendary bow. It also had the set pieces that allowed you to mix and match the tier 6 items. It had new crafting levels with the hardened corium. You were able to do trash runs as well. And I remember Dakina Paladini got the Rising Fury, whichever, the offhand fist weapon. I did not get the polearm, however. And yeah, I think that overall, Sunwell, Fury of the Sunwell, was an S tier patch. Fury of the Sunwell was an absolutely S tier patch. It was really, really good. One of the best ones. I think that Fury of Sunwell was not as good as the Burning Crusade release in terms of the patch cycle, but it was still fucking amazing. That's a bit. Oh, and Magister's Terrace. I forgot all about Magister's Terrace. I gave it an S tier without even thinking about one of the big factors. So I think that there you go. It makes it very obvious that Sunwell should be an S tier one. Okay, yeah. And you get the White Cockstrider. Very, very true. Now, next. Wrath of the Lich King release. Okay. So let's talk about this. There's a lot of people that are putting it at an S. Take off the nostalgia goggles and see it for what it really was. 2 one-boss raids and a reused raid.
But Divine Storm, one-shotting literally everything.
That lowers it.
That raises it big time.
And also, Death Knights were complete fucking dog shit. They were so broken.
What?
They were so broken. It was insane.
Oh my god, they were amazing.
It was,
dude. Oh my god,
it was so bad. It was so bad.
It makes me cry, dude.
Oh, you would fucking kill them,
You
and they
are
would turn into
insane.
a ghoul.
You're
You would kill them. You would kill them.
I hate you.
You would kill them. They would turn into a ghoul, and if you blew somebody up with the ghoul's suicide explosion in arena, even though the ghoul killed himself, you would win the game.
Yes.
You would win, even if you killed yourself to kill the other guy. It was so fucking terrible. The first patch of Wrath was garbage. It was absolute fucking garbage.
It was so good.
It was so terrible. I'm gonna give it a fucking C. It is a C tier. It is trash.
So
you
lame.
know it. I know it. Everybody knows it. And I know I have to make the hard call, but I'm sorry. But 2 one-boss raids, which, by the way, Sartharian I thought was a very good boss, to be honest, especially with 3 Drakes. But all of the other ones, and also redoing Naxxramas to be a joke of a bunch of loot pinatas. The first time that my guild ever did 25-man Kel'Thuzad, we one-shot that bitch. It was so easy. It was a joke, man. And that was all the content that we had to look forward to.
Dude, Death Knights at the beginning of Wrath, I mean, honestly throughout Wrath, but at the very beginning, they were so amazingly fun. It was just pure, unadulterated, overpowered fun.
At the expense of every other class.
Everybody was overpowered. Our fucking mages had the arcane barrage. They were going around literally one-shotting.
No, that was only at level 70 during the pre-patch, McConnell. Like, you don't remember.
Dude, I'm telling you, they were OP in Wrath too, and they were going around. They were spell stealing the mobs in Naxx and clearing Naxx in like 3 minutes.
No, that's not even what happened. That's not even what happened.
They would spell steal the fucking bone armor from the dude, and then they'd fucking go clear it.
I know that. Listen, I remember watching this fucking video.
There it is, right there.
Yes. So basically, what would happen is he would attack these guys, and he would spell steal bone armor, and it would make him invincible.
Look at this.
Yeah.
Look at this shit. Look at this.
So there's bone armor. See, it just popped up. He spell steals it, and now he just absorbs literally everything. And he's fighting Resuvius, and it doesn't even matter. So he was literally soloing the entire fucking raid. This is how overpowered it was. Like, this is what...
Dude, everybody could do OP shit, man.
This was... No, it was just a bug. It was a fucking bug. Like, can we please pretend... Not pretend like this is an obvious...
It deserves better than C. It deserves at least a fucking... At least, if you're not going to put in A or S, I would put in S, obviously, because I played Red. But if you're not going to at least put in A, You should put it in B. It belongs in B. Fuck you.
Name one thing that was good about that patch that wasn't completely fucking busted. Besides Sartharian.
DKs. Ret Paladins.
I said not busted.
Ret was not busted. It was just right.
Ret was fucking insane.
It was just right. It was
Ret
just
was
right.
insane.
It was so good. And it was right where it needs to be.
Look. I
Go
cannot,
watch a video, fucking idiot.
I cannot believe that you guys are sitting there debating me on this to get like, you really want me to S tier a re-released raid with nerfed content, and the only real new content for raids was 2 one-boss raids. You really want me to S tier that? Are you crazy? It's a fucking C! And let's say you're tired of raiding. You're done with raiding. You hate raiding. You're like, fuck this. I'm gonna go PvP. And then you get killed by a Death Knight that got turned into a ghoul that still does more damage than your actual character. Horse shit. Absolute horse. It's a C.
All I'm gonna say is you've tainted the rest of this list now. For me. You've tainted it.
Secrets of Ulduar. Secrets of Ulduar. Now, what else happened in the Secrets of Ulduar besides the raid? I'm trying to remember if there's anything else that happened. Like, was there anything else that happened to, like, Wintergrasp? No, Wintergrasp was in the game originally. TOC dailies, I don't think that happened until later on. Onyxia release, no, I don't think that was until, like, TOC or something like that. Ulduar was the best. No, Onyxia was not Ulduar patch. I can guarantee you Onyxia was not Ulduar patch because Onyxia had to have been Trial of the Crusader patch because of the item level gear that it dropped. Onyxia dropped 232 item level gear on 10 men and 245 item level gear on 25 men, which mirrors the Trial of the Crusader rewards, which means that it probably came out after Ulduar. Secrets of Ulduar is obviously an S tier raid. It's obviously an S tier raid. Yes. Or S tier raid, S tier patch. Like, this was, in my opinion, I think Ulduar was the best patch, or best raid, really, of all time. I really think that. I've always thought that, and there it is. I think it's pretty much the best one. Yeah. All right. Trial of the Crusade. Patch 2.3. Let's look at this right here. Trial of the Crusade. Trial of the suck my fucking dick. Trial of the fuck you. Trial of the you ruined Ulduar by adding in an easier version of the fights into Trial of the Crusader that already invalidated all of the content and progression that people put into Ulduar, that completely cut the raid tier short even though people were still progressing through it, but you added a new raid that completely halted progression. So not only did you fuck over Ulduar, but you also brought out a shit raid. This is the worst patch of all time. This is the worst. This is the worst one. There has never been a patch that sucked more dick than this patch. Because not only did it fuck up, was it a shit patch? Argent, to be fair though, the Argent tournament grounds were cool. Like the little, the horsey, and then they had the music. And you know, it was fun. But like, other than that, the raid, not only was it a shit raid, but it removed the other raid effectively from most people's progression cycles, even though it was one of the great raids. I actually think that it was worse than the selfie patch, and the reason that I think that it was worse than the selfie patch is the fact that it fucked up prior content. The selfie patch, you can ignore it, but this one fucked up Ulduar. And also, this was the beginning of 4 raid difficulties. Trial of the Crusade was the first fucking raid that had 4 raid difficulties. You were able to do normal 10 men, heroic 10 men, 25 men, and 25 men heroic. This was the first raid that had 4 raid difficulties. 4! You spent all that fucking time in that little circular room. It's like you were in an insane asylum. It's disgusting. Worst patch of all time.
I liked it.
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
No. Oh, and then another thing.
Jesus Christ.
Look at the gear. Look at the fucking gear.
The gear was the only bad part.
What about the fact that it invalidated Ulduar? How about that?
Oh, boo fucking who?
Oh, boo fucking who? Just invalidated the best raid of all time. Huh?
So what? Grow up.
What about the fact that it had 4 raid difficulties?
I liked multiple raid difficulties, actually. It was good.
Okay.
It gave people more options to decide where they fit in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, this one fits in at F. It's shit. Absolute fucking shit. Complete garbage. Nobody liked it. McConnell is lying whenever he says that he liked it. Fall of the Lich King. Patch 2.3. Or 3.3, whatever the fuck it was. 3.4, I don't remember. I think that Fall of the Lich King... I've said this before. I think that ICC was not that great of a raid. And I also didn't like how the 5-man dungeons invalidated all of the other previous raid content below Trial of the Crusader and 25-man Ulduar.
Oh, shit. Look at chat,
It was, hey, yo, boys. Welcome to the real world. Welcome to the truth. Welcome to the fact that most of the ICC bosses had 3 fucking mechanics. They had 3 mechanics. And one of the mechanics you could usually just ignore, like Marrogar. Look at Marrogar. All right, let's look at the first boss. All right, so you've got Marrogar. He spins. Bone Storm. Also, he puts fire on the ground. But if you stack directly underneath Marrogar, the fire never hit you. So you didn't even need to worry about the fire. You didn't even need to do that. And then he would impale people, which wouldn't matter either because everybody was stacked, so they would just be immediately cleaved down by the 18 different Fury Warriors and Ret Paladins that were using Shadow's Edge at that time, or Bryn Troll, or whatever the fuck. They would just get immediately fucking deleted. And then after that, he also did a Saber Lash, which is like a tank attack that hit 3 targets, and so you just have 3 tanks standing on top of each other. Listen. Oh, it's only the first boss. It's only the first boss. Okay. Okay.
You're fucking out of your mind, dude.
No, I'm not.
Marrogar is so iconic.
Because he looks cool.
Yeah, he looks cool.
Not because he played cool.
It was a cool fight. Bone Storm is itself iconic.
That's true. That is
I mean, the whole thing is just it's legendary. As an introductory fight, there's no way. Yeah, sure, maybe some of the shit was simple.
It was
so fucking what?
It was extremely simple, McConnell. Like, come on.
Who
it was
cares?
So simple. Like, are you kidding me? Like, half of the other raids. Look at Saurfang. Saurfang was incredibly fucking simple. Like, so many of the fights were just so simply designed. Like, they were incredibly simply designed. I understand. All right,
you're right, dude. Well, how come we can't just have every fight be fucking Mythic Ashara? That's what they should do. Every fight should just be Mythic Ashara all over the place.
How about they just go back to the, like, Trial of the Crusader had more interesting fights. Secrets of Ulduar. Ulduar Heroics were much more interesting than that. I'm not even comparing it to Mythic Ashara. I'm comparing it to the raids that were in the same expansion.
My point is that just because it was simple doesn't mean it was bad.
I think there is a
rate it as if it was bad because it was simple.
No, there's
That's
like a
not the
benchmark.
case.
There's a benchmark that if it's this simple, it sucks. It was too simple.
It didn't suck, and the fucking axe is, dude. Every part of this is memorable. The axe itself. If you were fucking sure, maybe you had Shadow's Edge or whatever, but like the axe is cool. The boss is cool. The Bone Storm is cool. Everything about it was cool. Just because you think it was simple doesn't mean it was bad. Fuck off.
I cannot wait for 4 years from now, whenever we're doing ICC on Wrath of the Lich King Classic, and we are so fucking tired of doing that raid because it's so easy, it's so brain dead, and it's a complete joke. It is a complete fucking joke.
You're
of
totally
a raid.
right, dude. Yeah, let's go back. Let's judge. You know what? That's a good idea. Let's judge Marrogar based on over 10 years of more of WoW experience.
I literally compared it to Ulduar.
We are jaded veterans.
I compared it to Ulduar.
Look at it like, oh, this was so simple. It was so boring.
And
look at
also,
it from a newbie's like perspective, dude. You gotta look at it from a different perspective.
well, yeah, if you don't know any better, you don't have anything to base it off of. Yeah, of course, you're gonna think of it differently. No shit. But compared to Ulduar, it was trash. It was trash compared to Ulduar.
Sure, but if you compare everything to Ulduar, then everything is just F tier automatically. You're comparing everything to what you would consider to be the absolute best job that Blizzard has ever done, and you're trying to compare it to that.
Okay, which raid do you think had worse bosses than ICC?
Well, TOC for one, easily.
I would agree with that. Yeah, which is also, by the way, rated an F.
Yeah.
Also rated an F. Okay, what else besides that?
I thought it was better than Black Temple.
Which was rated a B.
Yeah, so I would put this. If you're not going to be willing to put ICC,
I'm gonna give it an A. I'm gonna give it an A.
Okay, fine.
Like it's an A. Like I was gonna give it an A. Like I'm just saying it's not as good as Ulduar, and I don't think the raid is as good as people remember it. I don't even think it's in the top 10 raids of all time. The only reason it would ever be in the top 10 raids of all time is because of how iconic it was in the story. But yeah, I'm gonna give it a low A. It's a low A. And oh my god, it added Dungeon Finder. Okay. Oh wow. Okay.
I mean that was a big fuck up, sure, but that had nothing to do with fucking ICC.
Yeah, but it's part of the patch.
I mean, yeah, I guess so.
I think that we're gonna take it down to a B then. Yeah, we're gonna take it down to a B because we didn't know how bad it really was. We didn't know how bad things could truly get at this point. We thought everything was okay. We were optimistic. We were happy. We were excited. It was going to be super cool and super fun. And then this horse shit happened. And that's what ended up going with it, man. Next. World of Warcraft Cataclysm. The release of Cataclysm.
Fucking F tier. Fuck Cataclysm.
Released not only RBGs, a completely revamped Azeroth. I'm not really counting the leveling process as well.
The only good part about Cata was the revamped talents. The talents were fucking cool as shit.
It's actually funny to me to hear you say that because I'm internally laughing at how wrong you are.
You're wrong.
I cannot imagine being as wrong as McConnell is right now. It is incredible how wrong McConnell is.
Dude, the talents were fucking cool. Like, of course, like, Wrath talents.
And you know what else was
too.
cool? Having 3 raids. 3 multi-boss raids with secret, heroic-only end bosses for Sinestra. And yeah, of course you're falling asleep. Let's find out why McConnell was falling asleep. I'm gonna pull up your fucking logs from back then right now. Where is it? Oh, I can't do it.
Dude.
Yeah, of course you don't. Well, I did, and I was a fucking god back then because it meant something. It meant something to be good back in Cataclysm.
So wait, no, wait. So you're gonna judge the patch based on how you performed during the patch, which made you feel better about yourself.
No.
Is that what I'm understanding?
I'm gonna judge the patch on how much it inspired me to be good.
No objective reasoning, just purely based on how it made you feel.
Okay, sure. Let's go ahead and use some objective reasoning. Let's see. Sinestra being a heroic-only end boss is really cool. Am I right about that?
Yeah.
Okay. RBGs, are they cool? Wrong. Try again.
They were bad.
Try again.
They were bad.
They were great. RBGs were amazing. And also on top of that, Season 9 PvP was incredible as well. There was so much participation. You saw people already getting up to 3K rating in the first season of the expansion. It was insane. Everybody was PvPing. Everybody wanted to have fun. Everybody was outside of Stormwind PvPing. That's whenever every single PvPer, look at Mitch Jones, fucking Soda Poppin', Wreckful, fucking everybody started making content around then.
Wait, hold on. Wait.
Look at Darren McTire. Darren McTire, every PvP legend began almost in Cataclysm. Summon Wrath.
I agree. But back to RPGs, if we're judging a patch based on what a feature of the patch became, such as looking for group, then you also have to apply the same standards to RBGs.
Okay.
Which RBGs turned into, they were cool, and then literally one expansion later turned into a doxing and DDoSing fest where people's lives were being fucking ruined over raiding, and then it turned into the same thing it is today, except it's completely dead.
But that is not the Dungeon Finder is fundamentally harmful to the game. RBGs are not fundamentally harmful to the game. Skype was fundamentally harmful to the game. That is something completely different. Yeah, it was Skype because you could get people's IPs from Skype. That's what it was. And also on top of that, Cataclysm said, you know what? You said you wanted 5-man dungeons that were hard again? Well, guess what? Blizzard got up and they put their dick on the table, and players got upset about it. But you know what I think? I think those 5-man dungeons were just fine. I think they were just okay. They cried, and they bitched, and they complained, and they moaned about it all day long. And finally, Blizzard got rid of it. And the only reason that happened is because they kept doing the fucking pre-made 5-man groups in the Dungeon Finder that ended up setting themselves up to fail. Because Blizzard did that. Cataclysm, the beginning of Cataclysm, I think, was one of the best parts of the game. It was amazing. You had all of the 5-man dungeons. You had all 3 raids that you were able to do that had equal relevancy for different things. All of the raids were incredibly good. You had a secret hard mode only raid boss that dropped even better gear. You had the introduction of RBGs. You could fly all around Azeroth for the first time ever, and that's why the Cataclysm first patch is getting a fucking S. It's a fucking S. That's right!
You're insane!
That's right!
No, dude!
That's right. It's a fucking S, and I know it, and you know it. Chat, you know I'm right. Everybody knows I'm fucking right. That's right! That's right. You're goddamn right. Next one is Rise of the Zandalari. Rise of the Zandalari added 2 5-man dungeons. It added the new ZG and the new ZA. ZG was originally removed in the Wrath of the Lich King pre-patch, I believe. Or no, was it Wrath? No, Cataclysm pre-patch because it was going to be re-added later on. These 2 5-man dungeons introduced item level 353 gear, and it was the first epic gear that you could get out of dungeons, and it was very early into the patch. The reason why I believe they added that in is because the first raids, in Sunwell, or not, Jesus Christ, in Cataclysm, Bastion of Twilight, all the other ones, Blackwing Descent, they were very hard, and so they gave people a little bit more gear to get inside of it. I think that Rise of the Zandalari, for me personally, was a B, because I sold so many bear mounts, it was actually disgusting. Like, it was just crazy. It was ridiculous. I do think that the old ZG and the old ZA are better. They're better raids. But I think that Blizzard made ZG and ZA, the new ones that they made, were as good as they could have done. I think that overall, they were decent improvements. I'm going to give Rise of the Zandalari a C. It did only introduce 2 5-man dungeons, but overall it was not a major, huge, intensive patch. It was just more of the same. Next one. Rage of the Firelands. Rage of the Firelands. Patch 4.2. A beautiful time, a beautiful moment. Let me explain why it was so great. Because not only did it introduce one of the best raids of all time, Firelands. I loved Firelands. It was fucking amazing. But also, it introduced the entire revamped Hyjal with the outdoor zone, as well as the Molten Front offensive that was a multi-week-long, server-wide event and fucking investment of continuously building up more materials and more things and unlocking more stuff as a server together. I am going to say, for this one time, I will be a Firelands Andy. I will say that the Molten Front was fucking amazing. Growing that tree inside of the heart of fucking Ragnaros' domain. Flying around on the phoenixes. Destroying the stuff. Going through the different pathways. Unlocking the different achievements. And finally getting everything up to Exalted. And doing it every single day. And on top of that, they also introduced tons of new hunter pets that you could capture as well. That were in the different areas. That had different challenges that hunters could do. This was an incredible patch. One of the best patches of all time, and I'm gonna say that Rage of the Firelands is a solid high A tier patch. It was fucking amazing. It might even be low S tier. It's so close it's hard for me to say. I really don't know. It is an A tier patch. It's an S? You guys think it's an S? All right, I'll do S. I'll do it. I'm man enough to do it. I'll do it. You know what? I'm gonna do something else that's gonna make you guys mad. I think it's better than Sunwell patch. I think it's better than Sunwell patch.
You have lost it, dude.
I'm not doing it. Just make. Yeah, it was. It's better. Like, the truth is that the Sunwell patch is the only reason why the Sunwell patch is better. Okay. Sunwell patch could be better. I can make this argument, okay? Sunwell patch could be better if you're talking about the time that it existed in. So, like, for example, if you're talking about because Sunwell was the first one to have one of those daily zones and, like, yeah, that's kind of cool, right? But objectively, if you look at two of them side by side, Rage of the Firelands was fucking better. It was fucking better. And also, on top of that, Sunwell was an overtuned raid that was so ridiculously fucking overtuned that you couldn't even bring paladins into the raid for the beginning of it. People had paladins outside the raid in group 6 buffing people with the different blessings before they zoned in.
So what? What the fuck do you care about paladins? Why are you using my class as a fucking measurement? If paladins can't go to a raid, you're happy about it. If they can go to a raid, you're saying they're fucking overpowered.
Oh, no.
There is no pleasing people like you. Fuck off,
No,
dude.
It's not true at all. What do you mean?
It's completely true.
It's not true. I'm trying to help you. I was trying to help you, and now you're fucking bringing this shit up.
Oh, fuck off. Don't try to gaslight me, prick.
It's not my fucking fault that paladins sucked. Like, it's Blizzard. Listen, every class should be valuable to some extent. Sunwell was ridiculously fucking hard. It required people to do a bunch of contrived strategies in order to beat it. I don't think it's going to be that hard in TBC Classic, but back then it was. And I think that it probably was too hard. And if it was hard enough to where some classes couldn't really be in a raid relative, like, as much as other ones, and you needed the class stack for, like, Iridar Twins for much spread damage, you need, like, 3 Resto Druids for that, then yeah, it's probably too fucking hard. But, again, on Rage of the Firelands, Heroic Ragnaros was also fucking ridiculous. So, it's hard to say. Let's go to the next one. Hour of Twilight. Patch 4.3. Now, this was an Hour of Twilight. It was Hour of Twilight of the game. It was not just an Hour of Twilight of, oh, this is a nice patch. Oh, this is so nice and fun and exciting. Suck my big fat fucking dick. Hour of Twilight added in 3 new dungeons that were admittedly relatively fun to do. It added in time. It added in Hour of Twilight, the dungeon, and it also added in the Well of Eternity, which in my opinion was one of the best dungeons that Blizzard has ever made, especially in terms of how much they put design into it. And it put Transmog into the game. And I'm not going to say Transmog is that bad. I think Transmog's done a number of good things for the game, but it's also done bad things too. But you know why this patch really sucks the biggest fat fucking dick? Why does it suck the biggest fat fucking dick? Tell me right now. Looking for raid.
I don't think LFR is that bad, really. Let's more people see the content.
LFR is the stupidest thing Blizzard might have ever done. I remember whenever LFR came out, and the reason why I thought that they brought it out is because Blizzard was sad that so many dog shit dick-sucking players that they had in their group, or they had playing their game. I've said too many dicks. There's been too many dicks that have sucked today. I've got to find another metaphor. LFR sucks. I'm going to give Hour of Twilight the worst patch of all time.
What the fuck, dude?
It is the worst patch of all time. Because not only Trial of the Crusader killed the worst raid, this one killed every fucking raid. It killed every fucking raid. And it also brought out Dragon Soul. Look at Dragon Soul. Look at this shit, okay? The first boss, Morchuk, is a reskin from a Stone Court 5-man boss. Warlords Zanaz is just a reskinned fucking boss from Ulduar. You go and you look at Yorsaj. There's 50 different Yorsages running around. He's not special. Hagara the Stormbinder is just a dumbass fucking They didn't even think to make a new area to fight her in. You just fought her in the Eye of Eternity. And then what is she? A shaman that's using tier 2. What a joke. And then also, War Master Blackhorn is just a Tauren. And then, oh, you get to beat on Deathwing's back. Oh, yeah. You love that. Get the fuck out of here.
You're just mad because they didn't make the fucking dragon mount drop.
And they added the fucking Heart of the Aspects. I forgot about that. See,
That's what you're mad about.
I'm mad. Now I am. Now I am. Look at this horse shit. I'm going to pull it up right now.
Why don't you play your video, dude?
No, I'm not going to play the video. I don't want to get banned. Let's see here. What is this? What's it called? Chromatic Champion. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this fucking... This is an achievement right here. This is an achievement that Blizzard added into the fucking game in fucking patch 4.3. And look at this picture right here. Look at this picture right here.
What? What is the fucking problem? What a fucking pussy, dude. I can't believe this guy's a big streamer on Twitch. Holy shit.
Look. I got so mad, I had to eat a cookie. Hour of Twilight. Worst patch of all time. Hour of Twilight was the Hour of Twilight for WoW. Horse shit. And it lasted for a year. Imagine getting slapped in the face for a year. Like that. All year. You get to log on. You find out, you know what? You know what? It wasn't that bad. Stop acting like it was bad. It wasn't that bad. I hear myself. It's not that bad. So quit crying. Quit crying. Listen. A whole year you had to spend this shit. And you know what happened? Is you couldn't unsub because you bought the 1 year. Blizzard did this thing back in Cataclysm because they knew that they were going to take their sweet ass time with Mists of Pandaria. And so they said, you know what? We've got this idea for an annual pass. We're going to give you Diablo 3 for free. We're going to give you Tyrion's Charger for free. All you have to do is sign on this dotted line your deal with the devil, the Stormount Devil. And we're going to make you pay the game for 12 months. And you know what I said to that? I said, that sounds like something that my dad would want to do. And I signed my dad up for that. And he paid my whole year of my annual sub, and I still have my Tyrion's Charger, and I still got my free Diablo 3. My dad paid for that shit for me the whole time, and he had no fucking idea. He didn't even know. So listen, I had that happen. Yeah, that was kind of good, but I was stuck being subbed, and so people would log on, and they would get pissed off. I'm gonna say that it is the worst patch of all time, and there's nothing even close. Mists of Pandaria. The Mists of Pandaria.
This is it right here, dude. So good.
I might surprise you guys.
Love WoW.
I might confuse you guys. I might make you think, wait. What do you mean? It's an S tier patch. I said, what do you mean? Challenge modes weren't amazing.
Oh.
What do you mean? Having 8 different factions that you could farm reputation out that admittedly did take a long time, but it was still content. What do you mean? 3 separate raids with tiered lockouts that you could do throughout the entire week with multiple different modes to them and hard modes built on top of the hard mode of the game with the elite protectors of the endless on heroic. What do you mean that it's not an S tier patch? And you got the farm.
Jesus Christ.
That's a big, that's one of the best patches of all time. I think it was better than the beginning of, it was about the same. It's hard to say if it was better than Miss Pandaria or not. I don't know. It's about the same. I'll put it ahead of Cataclysm at the beginning. Challenge modes were fucking amazing. My group was the server first group to get all gold challenge modes. We stole it from Intent. Fuck you, Intent. And they spent the next 2 years rationalizing why they lost.
Fuck those guys, yeah.
Losers.
Loser! You're a loser!
I remember that night, that fateful night in Storm Stout Brewery, where we got it. And everybody else messaged us. They said, you did it. And I said, we did it. It was fucking amazing. That will be in the story for Miss Pandaria.
Yep.
Miss Pandaria was an S tier patch at the very beginning. And they followed it up by one of the weakest patches that they've ever added. Landfall. Should rename that to Landfall.
What the hell was this, man?
This patch was a joke. This patch, the only thing that this patch did, it's just...
Yours was good, but more like landfill, right? Ah!
Alright, that was better.
Landfill.
That was better. Alright, that was better, yeah. True. True. Look, this was one of the stupidest patches that Blizzard has ever made. And also, here's another reason why it was shitty that a lot of people might not even realize. Is it made Tyrande look like a dumb bitch. Tyrande, in my opinion, is one of the coolest characters in WoW. She is the fucking elite moon priestess of Elune. And she looked like some warmongering crazy bitch next to Varian Wrynn, who's supposed to be basically the Alliance version of Garrosh Hellscream at that point. So I don't want to hear about it. It fucked up her character. It served no purpose. It added no content except for a random zone that nobody cared about because the gear from it sucked dick. It was so bad. It was trash. It did add the Brawlers Guild though. Somebody said that.
That was nice. I love the Brawlers.
And the reason why it added the Brawlers Guild, I am going to say that Landfall is a C patch. If it wasn't for the Brawlers Guild, it would be our first D patch. But it was a C patch.
Brawlers Guild's really good.
And Brawlers Guild was really, really good. It was really, really good. Yeah, I think D. You guys really think that it's a D? I really don't think it's a D.
No.
I think C is completely fine. Like, Brawlers Guild was fucking amazing. It's been revamped multiple times. It's been an expansion feature for a long time. I think Brawlers Guild keeps it out of C. If it wasn't for Brawlers Guild, it would be a solid fucking D. Next, the Thunder King, patch 5.2.
Dude, that's the patch that I added you.
Let me see. Yeah, I don't know where it is. It shows on Battle.net. I'm not sure, okay? The point is that, yes, McConnell and I met around this same time, okay? It was the Thunder King patch. Now, this was an incredibly great patch. I love this patch. It was fucking amazing. And it also added in the Isle of the Thunder King, which was one of the better outdoor zones. You had multiple rares that you could kill, and also summonable rares that dropped specific special items that were the same item level as Mogushan Vaults. Also on top of that, which is 476 by the way, but that's only Mogushan Vaults LFR, because Mogushan Vaults normal mode was 489. And then, yeah, it was 489. So, anyway, the point is, yeah, it also gave Warlocks Green Fire as well. And then on top of that, it gave you the Treasure event, and it had Nalak. Nalak, this patch has content that I'm still doing today. Against my will, by the way. I'm going to give the Thunder King patch, I'm going to say it was better than Ulduar patch.
Nice.
I'm going to say it was better than the Ulduar patch. The reason for that is this. I think that Ulduar is a better patch. A better raid, I mean. It's a better raid. But the Thunder King patch brought in so many other things on top of that I think collectively, as a patch, Thunder King comes out ahead. And I honestly think, I genuinely think this, that if there's ever a raid, I think Throne of Thunder is almost as good as Ulduar. And I can, if somebody thinks it's better, I can respect that opinion. Yeah, it was absolutely fucking incredible. It was one of the best raids of all time. But however, it did add in Thunder Forging. That is a very good point. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh.
Nah, it's not worth dropping to an A, dude.
No, it's behind Ulduar. That's all. I swapped it by 1 P. Yeah, that's it. I still, yeah, below Ulduar then. It's still an S. Like, it honestly, the raid is still just such an incredible raid. I will never forget doing Throne of Thunder King. It was so fun, man. Like, I had so much fun doing this raid. It was amazing. I wish I could show some videos from there, but like, they were all on my other computer and a bunch of other shit. Oh, it also had Isle of Giants. I forgot about that. Oh, man. And Isle of Giants, too. Holy shit. Okay,
Come on, dude.
Oh, my God. It still has Thunder Forging, though.
Yeah, but they took it out. So they took it out, dude. It's gone from the game. They took it out, like, you know, now.
Is it ahead or below Ulduar? McConnell, you make the call. You make the call.
I mean, I'm biased, dude, but I put it ahead.
All right, there it is.
I love Miss. Miss was dope, dude.
There it is. I'll take it. I'll do it. Yeah, this is a best patch of all time. I forgot all about the Isle. Dude, there were so many things in the game that I actually forgot about them. Yeah, let's go ahead and we'll stick with that. When was the Timeless Isle added? It's not going to be for a little bit longer. Okay, escalation. Wait, what? Patch 5.3? What the fuck is this? What's escalation? Wait, do you mean that stupid shit that happened in the Barrens?
Dude, what?
Yeah, it was a Baron patch. That's what it was. It wasn't a Barrens patch. It was dog shit. Okay? Like, no, I'm not having it. All right, here's how bad this patch is. I forgot what it even was. It's a D. The reason why it's not an F, voice chat probably should be a D as well, to be fair. But, F tier patches actively made the game worse. It actively made the game worse. It's the Hordebreaker achievement. Yeah, it's Garbo, man. It's absolutely fucking Garbo. So yeah, we're gonna put Escalation as a D tier patch. Now we're gonna go on to the next one. Everybody knows it's fine, it's whatever, right? It's a D tier. It introduced Deepwind Gorge, so F tier. No, I actually really liked Deepwind Gorge. Deepwind Gorge, if anything, keeps it out of F tier. Because I thought Deepwind Gorge was the first it was the first BG. Think about this. It was the first BG where you could actually come back from a loss and you could take points away from the enemy's team. And you could have a legitimate comeback to where you're not just, oh, we're too far behind. You could actually turn things around. It had a completely new dynamic of moving the carts back and forth. And the only reason why Deepwind Gorge was bad is because Demon Hunter tanks were overpowered in a future expansion. Deepwind Gorge original was fucking amazing. The new Deepwind Gorge, it's a wheelbarrow full of dicks. Siege of Orgrimmar. The Siege of Orgrimmar. But is it really the Siege of Orgrimmar? Or is it the greatest outdoor zone to have ever existed? The greatest moment in our lives. The moment where I was able to kill members of my own faction and message them, thank you. And then even after they had the debuff for the bloody coins, I would kill them again. And I would say thank you. And they would say, you already killed me. And I said, I know. I'll do it again and again and again. Because I will screenshot your responses and all of the times that you got mad. And I will make a massive collage of thousands of messages that I got. And I will put them together to take pride in the mental anguish and anger that I caused in my server. Siege of Orgrimmar is an S tier patch. It's better than Rage of the Firelands. It's one of the best patches of all time. And I don't really know. I think it's probably about right here or so for S tier. Siege of Orgrimmar was fucking amazing, dude. It was so good, dude. Oh my god. All right. So, we've gotten through Mists of Pandaria. Some of the best patches of all time. Two of the shittiest patches of all time as well. And now we go in to one of the more contemporary expansions. Warlords of Draenor. Here's what I think. I think that the first patch and the beginning of Warlords of Draenor was okay. I think the problem with Warlords of Draenor is not that there wasn't content, it's that there wasn't enough content. People liked the game. They wanted to play the game, and they couldn't. The fact is that we did get our garrisons, and while garrisons were reductive to the overall player experience, I agree, they were interesting, and Blizzard did take a chance with that. And I think that was good, number one. Number two, the leveling in Warlords of Draenor is the best leveling of all time in WoW. WoD had the best leveling, besides Classic WoW, right? I thought that was better. It was the best leveling of all time, and you know what? If you're disagreeing with me, it's not even close. It's not even close. It was so good. On top of that, it was the first time that Blizzard introduced cutscenes into questing content. It was also had challenge modes as well, with special cool weapons and the Yeti mount. And also on top of that, it introduced one of my top 5 best raids of all time, Black Rock Foundry. And Highmaul, I think, was also fucking amazing as well.
That was a good time for the stream.
It was a great time for the stream. I would spend all day in the garrison complaining and talking shit, running Dragon Soul with McConnell at 3 a.m. in the morning. The WoD raids were fucking amazing.
That's true.
That's very true.
So good. They were so much fun, dude.
You're wrong. Wrathgate was the first in-game cinematic. What did I say, Goose? Did I say the first time for them to have a cinematic at the end of a questline? Or did I say the first time for all of the questlines and all of the zones to have cinematics? I said full cinematics for all of the different quest lines. You gotta learn to listen. You have to read what words I'm saying out of my mouth. Warlords of Draenor, the very first patch. This might make people angry, but I think that the first 2 raids from WoD put it as an A tier patch. The very beginning, it was an A tier patch. The launch was a mess, that's true. That's very, very true. There were a lot of amazing things that WoD did, and I know some people might get mad, and all I have to say to the mad boys is you're wrong. Also, patch 6.1. Patch 6.1.
Don't.
Patch 6.1 brought in a number of very important innovations in World of Warcraft. such as the selfie cam and Twitter integration. This was the time where a lot of those old players who now play Classic, who hate streamers and hate social media, this was the time that they realized that their game was dead. The patch 6.1 killed the boomers.
Damn.
I'm going to give patch 6.1 an F tier. Because it's worse than the voice chat patch. The voice chat patch was fine because we had plenty of other content in Burning Crusade to go off of. And it was like, well, whatever. They did something, it didn't work out. Fuck it, we'll just use Vent, right? But 6.1 was on the heels. It was on the heels of a content drought. And Blizzard released this new patch, and it was nothing. It was nothing. Heirloom tab? Fuck it. It's still an F. I don't give a shit.
The tab. Oh.
That changes out. Let's see, maybe an A or a B. Yeah, no. If there's any way to say if this is a bad if it's a bad patch, it didn't even have a fucking name. Next patch. Patch 6.2. Fury of Hellfire. What do you think, McConnell?
This is an interesting time for the stream, at least.
Hellfire Citadel was a great raid.
True.
The Legendary Ring was really cool. 10-and Jungle sucked.
Yep.
10-and Jungle was like, it's like you give somebody Timeless Isle and you say, do this again. But the person that you give it to is actually a crazy crackhead who lives under a bridge that doesn't even know what fucking programming is. And you know what they come out with? Something that is still somehow better than what we got with 10-and Jungle. The only cool thing about 10-and Jungle was the fact that they had all of the elite mobs up at the top and all the Dreadlords had different names. I thought that was cool. Some of the pets were cool too. But overall, it was trash. And there were Apexis crystals. Who here likes Apexis crystals? Can we get some poggers in chat for Apexis crystals? Mods, Bob. No. I don't think so. Mods ban anyone who fucking puts a pog for an Apexis crystal. I don't want to see it. We're going to take Fury of Hellfire, and we're going to put it as a fucking C. And it's not because the patch was just bad. It's because it lasted for over a year.
Oh, yeah.
It was the longest patch of all time, combined with the least amount of content from any expansion. I talked to somebody from Blizzard, and I said, what were the subs like? He said it was bad. It was bad.
It was bad.
Gentlemen, that's a motherfucking C. That's whenever people gave up. This was the first time. Mists of Pandaria, people were okay with the game. They just didn't like the theme. There are some people that didn't like it. People didn't like Cataclysm either. People finally, for the first time, gave up with this. They gave up on WoW with this. It was a sad moment. It did also add time walking. Yeah, I wish I could have used time walking to go back to Burning Crusade whenever I played that fucking patch. It was trash.
To be fair, time walking used to be
really
pretty
fun. It's fun.
Yeah, actually pretty fun when you could.
You get like all the set bonuses, the legendaries.
Yes.
Like, it was fucking badass, dude. I loved doing time walking dungeons back in the day. And it just got worse from there. So let's go ahead. We're gonna give it a pretty low rating. All right, the first patch of Legion. The first patch of Legion. Patch 7.0. I'm going to say the first patch of Legion. It had Emerald Nightmare in it. It had the Nighthold. It was pretty incredible. It really was. It was a great patch. But it had endless artifact power grinding. It had legendary RNG that determined your raid spot in some extreme circumstances. Those two things were absolutely fucking garbage. But it had a legendary soft cap. I forgot about that. It was so bad. And it also added Mythic Plus, which Mythic Plus, back in Legion, if you didn't play, you missed out. Nighthold was 7.1? Was Nighthold 7.1?
Yeah, dude.
Huh. I didn't know that. I thought it was... Oh, it was. Okay, all right. So then it's going to be an A. It's a low A if it has Emerald Nightmare, because Mythic Plus was so good, but some of the other systems were really, really bad. It also had Suramar as well. Yeah, there you go. Emerald Nightmare, not Nighthold. Yeah, okay, that's fine. You not... All right. Look at this. Look at what he just said.
Oh, come on, dude.
Look what he just said.
Come on, dude.
Look what he just said. You really gonna put that on me? You could fucking say that shit to me? Fuck you. I'm not gonna show his name. Fuck him.
You already did.
Fuck him.
How? Dude, I don't understand how you can sit there in front of all these people and say, oh, dude, if you didn't do Mythic Plus when it first came out, you missed out, dude.
True.
When... Yeah, but all you did was fucking run Maw of Souls over and over and over on stream for fucking AP. That's all you did. Sometimes you would turn your stream on, and that's all you did for an entire stream was Maw of Souls.
So I would do it 8 hours a day.
Yeah.
I would do the same dungeon for 8 hours a day.
It was so bad.
It was
I don't know how you say that.
It was so bad. And I remember I was like logging on, I'm like, alright guys, you ready to go to work? It was so bad, man. Oh my god, yeah, it's the same dungeon. Well, no, sometimes I would do, I actually can prove this. Let me see if I can pull it up right now. I'll get on my, actually, can I check my statistics? Is there statistics on Hell Yeah defeats on Mythic Maw of Souls? 212.
Look at that shit, dude.
212. And I also did Court of Stars. I alternated back and forth. I would literally log on, and this is all I would do is Maw of Souls in order to get my max traits. It was crazy. I would do it like it was my fucking job. It was pretty bad. And I remember I had like 3 or 4K viewers. Return to Karazhan was 7.1, right? So Return to... Actually, you know what? Yeah, I guess I'll keep it as an A tier. Return to... Alright, so move it to B. The first patch was trash. Yeah, I mean, so is the first patch... I am actually thinking right now that we should move Legion to B then. Because if it only had Emerald Nightmare... If it only had Emerald Nightmare, I think it's a B patch. Because, like, there were so many other systems in the game that were fucking terrible. Absolutely fucking terrible. So, yeah, I'm gonna say that it's a B patch, okay, guys? Sorry to say. Yeah, it's a B patch. It was awful for alts, too. Yeah, there was so many things that were wrong with it. Return to Karazhan. What did you guys think about Return to Karazhan? McConnell, what do you think?
Huh? That was okay.
Oh, okay? It had Nighthold in it. It had Trial of Valor in it. It had the first mega dungeon of all time. It added in the... I'm gonna say it's an A. I think it's an A. It
was cool, and the mount was cool, but until everybody started getting the mount, like after 2 days.
I would say it's at least decent, though. The new Midnight Mount, the Mage Tower, I thought that was 7.2. I'm pretty sure that was 7.2, right? Yeah, wasn't the Mage Tower 7.2? Yeah, I thought it was 7.2. So, listen, Tomb of Sargeras. I think Tomb of Sargeras brought in the Mage Tower. Tomb of Sargeras was a good raid. The reason Tomb of Sargeras was an incredibly good raid, it was just really annoying if you, if you were doing Mythic. And some of the bosses were super bad because of how many things you had to soak and how contrived it was. So that was why it was bad. Overall, though, I think that Tomb of Sargeras is this patch, because of the Mage Tower and because of the Broken Shore, which I think was at least okay. I think that, oh, and it was also a class mount. It was also a class mount. That's really good too. And great tier sets too. Yeah, the tier 6 revamp. Oh yeah, and they brought out the dungeon. I forgot about that. What was that dungeon even called? Sen, thanks for $10. Appreciate it, man. Well, I forgot even what it was called. Cathedral of Eternal Night. Yeah, there you go. So it's going to be an A tier patch. I would say that it was... is it better than Return to Karazhan? Probably not, but it was decent, okay? I would say it's definitely an A. So yeah, Tomb of Sargeras is pretty much an A tier patch. Mage Tower equals S, dude. Yeah, but... is the Mage Tower good enough on its own to carry the shortcomings of... Was it good enough to carry the shortcomings of Mythic Tomb of Sargeras and a number of other things as well that happened with the patch? All right, I'm going to do this to make you guys happy. There. Is that good? It is the highest A tier that we can have without it being S tier. All right, how about that? Good?
Wait, is this Mage Tower?
Yes.
Oh, I would put that in S tier.
Okay, all right, it's S tier. All right, there it is. So listen, next one, patch 7.3 Argus. 7.3 Argus. I think this is where Legion really came into its own and became a great patch. I really, really, really liked 7.3. It was fucking amazing. It added in Argus, which, to be honest, was not as good as I had hoped it would be, but it did add in Argus, and it was fucking amazing. It had all of those cinematics that were incredible. It brought back Turalian and Valyria. Or not Valyria, fucking Ilaria. Ilaria and Turalian. And then also it brought in Seat of the Triumvirate, that brought in the most legendary moment in all of MDI history of the plus 18 Seat of the Triumvirate that nobody expected to have to do, that took the entire groups hours and hours to do. This was supposed to be a 20-minute speed run on the MDI, and you had the best teams in the world wiping over and over and over against it in front of thousands of people, showing how ridiculously fucking broken it was. And it added in allied races, and the toy that I don't have, it's going down to a D now. And listen, the Argus patch was fucking amazing. I really, really liked it. I'm going to give the Argus patch... I'm going to say it's an S tier patch. I'm going to say it's an S tier patch. And it showed Sargeras for the first time. And it fucking showed Sargeras for the first time. I am going to say that the Argus patch is... I'm going to put it right here. I'll put it right there. Yep, that's about where it stands. Decent enough. And yes, he did Illidan block Turalian's sword with his hand, which forever put into perspective the power of a paladin.
Yo, you want a duel?
No, I'm not a demon hunter.
So I thought. Shut the fuck up.
Battle for Azeroth. Battle of Azeroth. We thought it was going to be against each other, but it actually was the developers. Now, what happened at the beginning of BFA? What was added at the beginning of BFA?
Diarrhea.
Dog shit.
Diarrhea.
Old deer. Azerite. Bugs. Misery.
Just
garbage.
Dude.
Warfronts. Oh, I don't mean to repeat myself. Go ahead.
Just stop. Just every boom, 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 boom. Just F, F,
all right.
F, F,
all right.
F.
So it's an F patch. It was fucking terrible. It was absolutely fucking terrible. All right, yeah, it was awful. Everybody hated it. It was really bad. Tides of Vengeance. Battle for Azeroth Tides of Vengeance brought in BOD. BOD, for many people's perspective, was the best raid of all of Battle for Azeroth. It was pretty good. I would say that because it brought in such a good raid, I think that it at least deserves a C. I think Tides of Vengeance deserves a C. Battle of Tsar, yeah, it deserves a C for, and also it had the Reaping Affix, which was fucking badass, man. How are you gonna say, it's not a D though, come on, and added Gmod. It was a good patch. It's a very, very good patch. Not amazing, but it's a good raid. I didn't mean to say patch, it was good raid, very good raid. Now, Tides equal the Wrath of the Lich King. Tides of Vengeance equal the Wrath of the Lich King. Let's see, 1 good raid versus 3 bad raids. I don't know. It's hard to say. Or sorry, 1 good raid versus 1 good boss. Okay. 8.2. Patch 8.2. Patch 8.2 brought in Ashara's Eternal Palace. It brought to a culmination, a struggle of over 10,000 years between Ashara and her master, the old god N'Zoth. It brought in 2 completely new zones, Nazjatar, the sunken world of the elves, and the world of the Naga, and also Mechagon, as well as the new mega dungeon, Mechagon itself. Patch 8.2, Rise of Ashara, is an S tier patch.
Oh, you're fucking
I am not even kidding.
me.
I am not even kidding. It is an S tier patch. It added in essences as well, which incentivized players to do all types of gameplay. It was an incredibly great patch. It added in dozens of different mounts. It added in multiple reputations, multiple things that you could farm, tons of, they added in the dungeon as well. It added in the raid, which was an incredible raid. It was amazing. It was a great patch. It added in a crab mount. Really? How can it have a crab mount and not have it be good? The
Every
Benthic
BFA
gear.
patch is F.
No. I think that Rise of Ashara was a fucking S. It was so good. It was the only good part about BFA. Patch 8.2 was one of the best patches that Blizzard has ever done. It was incredible. And I know that a lot of people hate BFA reflexively. But let me offer you a counterpoint. You're wrong and I'm right. It was a good patch. It added in tons of content. A massive amount of content. More content in any one patch than if you compare it almost any other patch before it. 2 completely new zones. A new mega dungeon. And a new raid. It's massive. Huge. Gigantic. Visions of N'Zoth. Patch 8.3, or should I say, patch 4.0, because they re-released all of them again. I'm gonna say patch 8.3. I'm going to say it's not an F tier. I think that corruption got better over time. I think that Visions of N'Zoth were interesting to progress through until you actually got to the point where you had to consistently farm them for sockets. There were a lot of good things with 8.3, but there were also a lot of bad things with 8.3. The truth is, patch 8.3 had a rough start. It had a rough middle, and it had a rough end. But the end was not as rough as the beginning. And I'm going to say that 8.3 got better over time. And it is a D patch. I actually might say it's an A. It's like a low C. We haven't had a whole lot of Ds. So let's go ahead. We're going to go with the D patch. Yeah. So, the final one. World of Warcraft. Shadowlands. The first patch. The first patch of Shadowlands was... Okay. I actually think Here's what happened with the patch of Shadowlands. I think it started here. And 3 months ago, it went to here. 2 months ago, it went to here. And now it's here. Here's why. The Shadowlands pre-patch, I want you to understand this, okay? The problem is not, it lasted too long. It is the same problem with Fury of the Hellfire. Listen, PvP is in the best state that it's been in since Warlords of Draenor. The Covenants are genuinely good and interesting outside of the abilities for making you feel like you have to do a certain thing. The storyline of Shadowlands is incredible. The questing for Shadowlands is better than it was in the previous 2 expansions. I would say that Shadowlands could be a B, but I just can't really put it above Wrath. I can't put Shadowlands above Wrath for the first patch. I can't do it. Like, it's almost there. I would say, like, let's put it over, let's put it right here. Let's do right here. This seems pretty good to me. Yeah, I would say so. Shadowlands is E? No, I don't think so. Wrath should be a B. I don't think it should be a B. I really don't think so. You guys are crazy. You guys are absolutely fucking crazy. Fucking retarded? No, I'm not. Okay, here's the facts. So this is the patch list. Which one do you guys disagree with me on? I want to hear it. Actually, wait a second. Yeah. Actually, I feel like this is more accurate. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this is a better list. Because I can move both of these up to a B. I feel like they're both about equal, though. This does seem okay. Wrath of the Lich King, the beginning of Wrath, I genuinely think was bad. I really do. Wintergrasp was terrible. The only main raid was just a reused raid from level 60. The other 2 raids only had 1 boss in it. PvP was completely broken, and there was almost no world content to do outside of that. In Shadowlands, the actual content itself is great, but it suffers from the same problem that the Hellfire patch had, which is that it took forever. Siege of Orgrimmar had so much content, there was so much to it, that people didn't worry about it taking so long, and we were so excited for Warlords of Draenor that we didn't think about it as much. Shadowlands, that's why it's a B. It's not a B because the content was bad. It's a B because there wasn't enough of it. Why didn't you rate vanilla patches? Because I didn't play during this time enough to really appreciate and understand what each patch brought to the table. Does that make sense? So, like, I played during vanilla. I got 60 during vanilla. But whenever each patch came out, I didn't understand the game enough to really appreciate what those patches really brought. Does that make sense? Yeah. So I didn't want to rate them. Whenever I started in vanilla WoW, the Naxxramas pre-patch had just come out. That's whenever I started. Castle Nathria with Denathrius as a boss was good. I thought so too. I definitely think so. McConnell, are you ready?
Yeah.
Is it time?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. This right here is the tier list. And I want to make it very clear. I want to make it very, very clear. This is the objective tier list. This is the tier list.
Bolver is S tier, the best Lich King in WoW history. Don't change my mind.
What? Are you crazy?